This live will be a continuation of one of the points I mentioned in one of my previous videos about simple things you can do to work less without sabotaging success. And it was a couple of episodes ago, and one of the things I mentioned was to delete your to-do list. And what to do after that, right? I did speak on the topic as well in my Brains Magazine article. I will attach a link below in the comments for your reference. So let's talk about the importance of turning your value tasks into time. And what does that even mean? So let's say you have 20 tasks on your to-do list for the day. Some are more important than others. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some take more time, right, than others. When we look at the list, we kind of know which are which, right? And in our head, when we look at the list, we can kind of know which tasks will take longer, right? We can quickly enough establish what will take longer, what we should start with, or maybe what we prefer to start with, right? And that's all great, except that it's not. And let me tell you why. If you do an experiment and take your to-do list and put the time each task will take, so for each of the tasks, assigning the time. And by the way, you need to be objective here, as objective as you possibly can. So if you say that writing a content for next week will take you around 30 minutes, you might be too optimistic. If you say it will take about 2 hours, that's more realistic. Of course, there are a lot of moving parts in this, right? It's very specific for each of us, like where you're gonna share it, right? It all depends on the length, on your creative flow, on the amount that you need to create, right? The place where you want to publish it, and so on, so on. But by doing that, by assigning the time, you will see soon enough that your to-do list requires way more time than you have. We all have set amount of time. We can't work 24/7. Well, maybe for some time we can, but after that we fall ill, we start getting, I don't know, running nose, headache, and it's all because of that disbalance, because it's all connected. But I'm not here to talk about your health in depth. What I want is for you to turn your value tasks into time to help you help yourself manage your time better. Does that make sense? So how does that look? Take your to-do list and establish who are those truly valuable tasks, those strategically important tasks that move the needle, right? That are important and possibly even urgent. These are your value tasks. They bring you value once completed. They help you scale. They move you forward. And by prioritizing them, what happens is that we show the importance and respect to our bigger vision. But it doesn't stop there. We need to allocate time, and how does that look? So first, as I mentioned, put the amount of minutes or hours the task will take for you, for you to have a better and clearer vision of what's to come. Because if something is just in our head, we might get distracted. We might forget about it, right? once it's in your calendar, in your planner, on the paper, it's more real. It gives you more accountability to actually complete the tasks, because we don't like everything that we're doing, right? But some tasks that just needs to get done, whether we like it or not. So instead of procrastinating, postponing, and then the last day before the deadline, we're like, oh my God, I have to spend all these hours. I'm gonna have to take a night shift, right? To avoid that disbalance, plan it in, schedule it in. Let me know if that makes sense. Put the amount of minutes and hours the task will take to have this clarity, right? To have the clear vision of what's to come, what to expect, what to count on, right? And that really, and let that be like the minimum that you can do to start, like helping yourself to manage your time and your priorities better. If you have to change one thing in your routine, if you have to implement to grow, let this be that one thing. Schedule it in your important tasks, plan them in. But the next step is actually the most important one. So when we have allocated that time, now we need to put it in our day, right? This is when we put it in our calendar, schedule it in our day. Because if it's not in your planner, but remains on your to-do list, it can stay there forever. Unless you take the time to put it in your calendar, it creates much bigger chances of actually getting it done. The truth is that, we always find time for what matters to us, what we fancy doing, but not always those things are strategically important. So if you know that certain tasks need to get done for your business, put them in your calendar. That one habit that you will create for yourself to get things done will help you that much better to grow and scale. Because that way you will create a habit of taking action on tasks that move you forward. Instead of postponing, procrastinating, or just endlessly adding to your to-do list. Because you see, unlike your to-do list, your calendar has limited time. And that's the danger of a to-do list. It's too flexible. It lacks that structure in a sense that it gives you too much flexibility, too much freedom of choice, too much space for procrastination to creep in. It allows you to pick and choose when and how you want to do things, right? And when you don't feel like it, it's kind of like, it's okay, because to-do list gives you that permission to be like, oh, yeah, it's okay. I can move it to another day. I can move this there. I can move this there. And that's the danger of it, never getting things done. I hope this helps. Have a lovely Thursday. Keep yourself productive, on point, and I will see you next week.